The college basketball season's officially over. The portal is open. They're in a dead period, so you can't have visitors till the weekend. But the Tennessee basketball team is down to 2 scholarship dudes from the returning roster as of right now. And it could possibly go down to 1. We'll discuss it in a minute. Hit that like, that share, hit that subscribe button. This is the craziest year I've ever seen as far as Tennessee and the portal goes. Of course, we looked at the Lady Vols lost everyone, and it's like, what is going on here? Now Rick Barnes is down to 2, and I'm still curious to see if Ethan Berg is back also. Since yesterday, here's what we knew from the last video, and it's been going so hot and heavy that I've had trouble keeping up with it as well. But first entry to the portal, Saturday night, or intentions, was Cade Phillips, and you had Clarence Masamba. Then you look at JP Estrella, and then where do we go from there? I'm trying to think specific. Bishop Boswell. Then you had, Jalen Carey. This morning you had Troy Henderson. And here recently you had Amari Evans as well. Dwayne Brown has committed to coming back for next season. Of course, we've not heard anything official on Nate Ament. I don't see any way. People are going to put all these rumors out there. I will be shocked if Nate Ament is back in college next year. And then, of course, you have Ethan Berg as well. I just can't see if Berg is going to keep playing here opposed to going back home, that he's going to have a big market to make probably more than he makes now on it. You look at it also, Tennessee's got Tyler Lundblade, former Belmont player, coming in. And then you've got Ralph Scott, Manny Green, Marquise Clark coming in. So theoretically right now, Tennessee has 6 players on their roster. Theoretically, that's including your signees. That's including Lundblade. I guess theoretically they have 7 until Ament declares, but I think that's, he's got a little bit of time to declare. So I just think it's a matter of when, not if, on that one. But looking at all the portal departures, I'm going to cut to the chase and be honest about this one. There's only 2 that really bothered me on this. JP Estrella, Amari Evans. And I think Estrella has big-time upside. I really do. There's times I thought he was underutilized in Tennessee's lineup. He can shoot. He can do a lot of things. Is he, the best defensive center out there? No, he's not. And I think that's where he gets in the doghouse with Rick Barnes. But JP Estrella in the right system will really flourish on it. Amari Evans is a guy. We saw some potential from him. Would he be a consistent, we'll say 10 to 20, somewhere in that range score? I don't know. I mean, he averaged 4.1 this year. I mean, we saw him with over 20. We saw him in double digits at times. We saw times he couldn't hit waterfowl off a boat. But, I'll look at the rest of them here as well. Let's analyze who's left. And again, I'm going to be totally honest where I fall on this, because there's times when the roster's intact, I try to be PC about it and not say too much. To me, I'm losing no sleep over losing Cade Phillips on it. All right, the guy hustled. The guy gave it his all for Tennessee. He can't score. And Pete Nakos of On3 has predicted him to go to Alabama now. So I really not thrilled with that. These guys got to do what they got to do, though. I mean, we had similar last year when Jalen Carey went from Vanderbilt to Tennessee. We embrace that. When the shoe's on the opposite foot, you don't like it too much. It's the world of college athletics, though, as we know it here. But losing Phillip, if I had to lose any of the big guys, obviously we've lost 3 or 4, and that's not including Felix not part of graduation. So I'm not factoring that in. I'm factoring everything in from a portal standpoint right now, because Jacoby Gillespie, Felix Akpar, Amari Abram, they were gone regardless on it. Tennessee looked to have a really good front court coming back. Now you're down to Dwayne Brown. This is just the nature of the beast. Now, and I've seen Mike Wilson, Grant Ramey, VolQuest.com talk about this in these exit meetings. This is not me saying it from inside scoop. This is what they put out there. They have conversations about roles and about money next season. Number one, for guys looking to be a starter, and he's told he'll be a role player, they're going to pursue another opportunity. If money evaluations differ, guys go pursue other opportunities. And this is too, I've seen Wilson and Rainey talk about this as well. A lot of it's agent driven. These agents are, throwing these numbers out, and are all these guys going to get that money their agents are claiming? No, they're not. But it's the nature of the beast now as well. And, from what I've seen too, specifically Mike Wilson's had a lot of insight on this. People have asked, is there much news coming out of Tennessee's camp? And he said it's pretty tight-lipped. And he said that I feel, this is not quote for quote on what he says, but he says, I feel that with the agents driving things, if you don't keep it, tight-lipped, they'll start driving these numbers up as well. And to me, all this comes from these major departures, at least on Tennessee's side of things, is it's either money or role-driven on it. Even though Tennessee's down to 2 and possibly 1, this situation, I think, is just drastically different, though, from the Lady Vols one, where it was just an absolute crap show this year. Rick Barnes just got to his 3rd straight Elite 8. And, I'm changing it. People have called him regular season Rick. It's Elite 8 Rick right now. When you get to 3, you're not regular season Rick anymore. You're Elite 8 Rick. And I think Rick wants to become Final Four Rick at this point. Here's why we have a major, major opportunity to improve this roster. Again, I think Amari Evans would have been, I don't know, there's some potential there, but the offense is still iffy on it. Dwayne Brown, I like that he's back. I think there's a lot of upside. Again, JP Estrella, I wish JP Estrella was coming back. I would like to have Jalen Carey back. I've been a Jalen Carey fan. But, can they get somebody with more shooting? Yes. Boswell, to me, overachieved this year. But what it came down to is that Tennessee struck out at the 2-guard position that pushed Boswell into a bigger role. Would I have liked to have him back? Yes. Not necessarily as a starter, though, as a guy to provide minutes off the bench. Maybe, over 20 minutes on some nights. I think he was definitely an asset to the team. But at the same time, he's not the shooter that you need. And, you look at Troy Henderson, Clarence Masamba, those guys are going to have to go lower to play. That's just the bottom line. I think Henderson has some potential. He's a good shooter. He was not afraid to shoot it. Estrella, of course, again, I think he's going to be one of the most coveted transfers probably in the whole portal. I'll be interested to see where Jalen Carey ends up. Again, the predictions right now is Cade Phillips to Alabama. Again, to me, I'm not losing sleep over that one. I just can't, in this day and age, fathom recruiting guys who cannot shoot the basketball. Especially if you can't even do a hook shot down low. The only way Cade Phillips could put the ball in the hoop is if his hands were attached to it, and that meant a dunk. If it had to come off his hands, it wasn't going in. I'm just being honest on that one. Boswell had his moments with it. So here's where we're at. Here's what you've got coming, including freshmen, including Lundblade. You've got Dwayne Brown, who can play the 4 or the 5, probably more of a 5, but maybe some 4 there. Lundblade adds shooting, one of the most elite shooters in the portal there. And then, how much can these 3 freshmen contribute? Clark, Green, Ralph Scott. How much can those guys contribute next year? I'll be interested to see on that one, because I know Clark I've seen Tennessee feels he's really undervalued. He was a scorer this year, rates as a 3. Manny Green, I've seen some pretty good reports on him. Guy can shoot. Guy has I think I've seen it referred to as a college-ready body. And I've seen that Ralph Scott is raw, but has really high potential. So, but in this day and age, who knows if you'll reach that potential at one school, because you got the portal out here and you got the agents driving the market right now. We can sit here and say the college game is what it is, but too, again, I think it's an opportunity to upgrade this roster. I did not foresee basically the whole roster hitting the portal here. I didn't, but that's where we're at now, because we talked about when they get lost to Michigan. there was at least 9 guys scheduled to come back, plus your freshmen. I said, I expect a couple. I didn't expect basically the whole team to hit the portal on it. So here's where you go. You got to replace Jacoby Gillespie. You got to have a scorer. Again, you got to have somebody that can distribute the ball. Jacoby Gillespie was the MVP of that team this year. I don't even think that's disputable either. You've got Lundblade. What's his role? Can he play the 2 or what? You've got to have a wing who can shoot and create. You've got to have a big man. You got to have a big man command the rim. You got to have some put the ball in the basket, and then you got to fill out the roster after that. Let's face facts. You're not going to get 10 superstars with the money being commanded today. But you can go out and get shooters. You can go out and get guys that can create their own shot, can put the ball in the basket. That's the bottom line right now. You can get a big guy, maybe 2, that are more rim protectors, maybe can do a little bit around the rim. But I think it's an opportunity. I think it's a big opportunity. And I think Tennessee, I don't necessarily think they want to lose all these guys, but at the same time, they were realistic about it. They're not going to overpay for them. And Rick Barnes knows he needs shooting. He knows at this point he needs shooting. And I think, again, we'll see how it is. We'll see how this money gets up. But supposedly there's money to spend at Tennessee. A lot come off the books, obviously. So it's a big opportunity. We'll probably start, like I said, we're in a dead period. Guys can't start visiting till this weekend. Will we hear about Zoom meetings, or will it stay tight-lipped right now? I would imagine Tennessee's probably going to come out firing, getting guys in to visit. I mean, you got a whole roster to fill out, basically. Let's put it that way. But, it's kind of sucks in the sense of where it all goes, that you can lose almost a whole team. But at the same time, Michigan just won a national championship with all transfers starting. And I think Rick Barnes has continued more and more to kind of value the portal. And I think Rick low-key digs this portal stuff. I really do. I think it's been one of these things. He can go out and get these veteran guys who can come in, who can handle more of his coaching. So big opportunity for Rick Barnes in Tennessee next season, and especially a big opportunity for Rick Barnes to go out and get the players he needs to become Final Four. Rick, this is Frank. This is a House of Orange. I'll see you when I see you.